folks, back with another video here. This is one in my 5-year reflections series is what I'm calling it. After playing for 5 years, I've gone back and listened to some of my old recordings and recordings of other newer players, and just as my banjo ears have developed, I've noticed some things that I wasn't doing right at the time, or other things that I wish I had caught on to earlier. I want to share it with you guys. So this is video 2. Last week, or last time, we talked about the 2-3 hammer on there and trying to speed that up a little bit to my ear sounds better. Today we're talking about the pull-off, specifically the one from 3 to 2 on the 3rd fret. And is there such thing as a perfect pull-off? And I think maybe there's not a certain thing that's perfect, such thing as a perfect pull-off, but there might be one that's perfect for you or perfect for a particular situation. And what I wanted to point out to you guys is my first 3 years of playing, I never did the pull-off. I was doing a push-off, which works, okay? I can't even do it now. So I was doing everything as a push-off. And what I wanted to get across to you guys is you need to have the pull-off in your bag of tricks as well for certain situations. And then also how much emphasis you want to put on it. You can really get it really snappy and put some extra sting on it with a pull-off that at least I can't do as well with a push-off. So let me kind of dive into some of the specifics there on it. So the push-off is where you're holding down the 2nd fret and you're pushing off from 3 to 2. Okay, which works. It sounds great. It tends to be a little bit smoother, at least to my ears. You go back and listen to the old traditional stuff, Earl Scruggs and some of the first generation people, their pull-offs, I don't know if it's because of recording equipment or what they tried to emphasize, everything was a lot smoother, so you didn't hear quite as much sting or separation on the pull-off. And I'm sure there might be instances where you do hear that, but just to me overall, it sounded a little bit smoother. You get into the stuff over the past 20 years, starting with first person I noticed was Terry Balcom, that he did a pull-off and it sounded like something was exploding. It was really the first time my ears had noticed a tone, the specific tones in the banjo. He was getting some sparkling highs, and then I actually saw a video of him playing, and it was like a little bitty wiggle there. It's like his fingers were barely moving at all, and there was this explosion of a pull-off. And so I really started diving into what he might have been doing there, and it was he was doing a pull-off. Okay, so if you're trying to get the pull-off, let's see which way I can do this. I'm getting closer to the mic, so I'll start talking more softly. But you want to try to pull straight down. You want to try to pull parallel to the fret, okay? And depending on how much pressure, down pressure you put, you can get lots of snap. And that snap can be because of the callus on your fingertip, but it also depends on how long your fingernail is. You catch your fingernail on it and get lots of sting on it, or as my friend Scott says, you can put a lot of stank on it if you want. Okay, and getting all that up to speed and thinking about pull off, push off, pull off. It's a lot to handle when you're a newer player. So do whatever you can get away with, but just I want to kind of plant that seed as you got different variations of this ornament here that can be helpful in certain situations. All right, so you want to try to pull straight parallel to the fret, straight down, if you will. In order to do that, that kind of forces your hand position into a better hand position for playing other things and other types of music, different genres, that kind of stuff. And that is that it kind of forces your fingers up, a little bit more arch, a little more arch in your wrist. Okay, which I think actually will help you later on. As I was a beginner, everything was flat. Okay, so I couldn't do anything but push off. I couldn't pull off if I wanted to because my hands wasn't in the right position. So not only will the pull off give you extra variations and extra tools in your bag of tricks, I think it'll also, in certain instances, force your left hand into a better playing position. At least that's what I've noticed. A couple of notable players actually use their ring finger. And when you if you happen to try that and you like it, you use your ring finger on that 3-2. For some reason, I think because it's easier to pull straight down, it's easier to get that snap on it. Jim Mills does that, and I think Banjo Ben Clark, they both do pull-offs using the ring finger. I tend to use the ring finger if I do a pull-off on the first string, but I go to the middle finger on the third string. Okay, I don't want to drag this out too long, so I'll kind of leave it there today. Maybe play a few of them, see if you can notice any difference between them. And once again, the other thing you can do is you can start with the down force. If you're pushing down into the fretboard as you're pulling, you can start to really hear a difference. I would say just keep working on that. The other thing you have to be careful on, and I'm still working on, like I said, I guess maybe a year and a half or so, I've been trying to do more pull-offs. As I do it, it's hard to get it smooth because you want it to be da-da-da, kind of like I don't know if it's a triplet or not. Da-da-da-da. And if you have too much down force or you don't get it exactly right, the timing gets off. What I tend to do sometimes is I play it too fast when it's supposed to be. Okay, so little differences there. So you want to try to get it as smooth as possible, but also be aware you got a push off and a pull off. The pull off, I think, will get your hand in a little bit better position and just give you more options. If you're trying to play some more modern things, Ron Stewart, Sammy Sheeler, Lonesome River Band, any of that kind of stuff. A lot of times you listen to their pull-offs and it's really got a lot of snap to it. So I'm thinking it would be more of the latter case there. Okay, so just something else to be aware of, and we'll come back next time and talk about string bending. I think is next is what I'll talk about. All right, you guys take care.